So today being the day that, of course, that I uploaded the last video, I found a 17-inch MacBook Pro. It's missing the battery, but I just so happen to have a 85 watt, which is what this calls for, power supply. So it is, it appears to be booting right up. It's in somewhat rough condition. Like, I think it's hilarious that these things came with a full-size DVI port. Like, that's ridiculous to me. A lot of the screws on the casing are loose, which is obvious by this, but the screw's not tight, not tight. Same. So, oh, dude, again, it's unlocked. There's no password. That's sweet. About this Mac, let's see what we got. 2 gigabytes DDR2. I don't have any more DDR2, so it's staying at that. The display seems okay. It was flickering a little bit, but yeah, it flickers a little bit when you move it. Ooh, I don't want to know why. I don't want to know why. Like, I have a good idea why, but I do not want to know why. DVD-R. Oh, yeah. Slot loading. Bad boy right in the front. Is this serial ATA? Oh, it is. 160 gig hard drive. I wonder if I could clone this over to something a little bit higher. We have upgrades for sure. So we'll probably grab one of those and find it a home in here. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the gap in between the screen grows and gets smaller when I do that. Oh, the hinge is not sounding too good, but it doesn't seem too bad. So it's a good start. Dude, somebody was like brute forcing their way into this computer. I think that's why everything is loose. Even the top, the palm rest, this is loose too. All right, guys, I got this thing open, or I got all the screws out of it. Let me show you guys something design-wise, by the way. This is genius. So, because I've never opened one of these before, I was very cautious and looking and everything, but I actually had nothing to worry about because look at that. Look at the design of this. This is genius. Trackpad, keyboard plugs into trackpad. Trackpad goes to ribbon cable. All right, and even the actual mouse buttons are separate and replaceable. If you notice that everything is removable and replaceable, I assume that's keyboard illumination. Probably the power, yeah. Power button. I wonder what this is. Can't really see at all. I don't know what that is. Is that right where the disk drive is? Yeah. But moving on from this, we can evidently see a very bad design. And there. My HP Elite book, I have an 830 G5, and it intakes air through the keyboard, but the keyboard has perforations where the fans are. As it has another air intake as well, but this not so much. We can see not through the laptop, and we can see not through the laptop. So, but it's so cool for the time. Oh, I just noticed that. That's not from me. Interesting. So somebody's been here before, but I already kind of knew that just based on the condition of the casing. We can see it's pretty distorted from somebody prying it. I had no problems, evidently, because they probably destroyed all the clips. But I mostly brought this out here to the garage, A, because my son is sleeping, so I don't have to whisper, and B, because this needs to be dusted out. Like, this is quite severe. And this is very interesting. Like, look at all the different designs, like on this side versus on that side. I guess they couldn't incorporate the space that this takes up, so they separated the speakers, it looks like. But it also looks like these speakers are larger. Maybe those are the woofers, but I don't know. I love saving stuff like this because you know it's gonna go to somebody that is like super like, this is so cool. Like, to them, this is like sick. Like, to me, this is cool, but like, I don't care to keep this. What would I use it for? It'd be just garbage in my house. But to somebody, they would fucking use this. Some you know, Appleologist or whatever you want to call them. So first things first, the clone worked. I didn't completely reassemble the computer, just in case it didn't. Disk drive making noise. But yeah, the clone worked flawlessly, so that's great. I just need to now manually delete all the user data on the machine. It shouldn't really take that long. I'll probably just use an external mouse and keyboard and just do it that way. I don't remember if I mentioned it in the previous video, but I found a motherboard. I don't remember when, probably over a month ago now, probably maybe even longer than that. Prime B460MA from Asus, and I've had no way to test it. To be honest, I could remove my 9700K from my computer and put it in here, but that's assuming that it has the newest BIOS revision, or not the earliest one, and who really updates their BIOS. So bought an i3 for 30 Canadian dollars on eBay. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can. See that pin? Guy's a little out of position. I'll see if I can straighten that out actually real quick. It's pretty good. That should work. I always just literally use, like, now that phones are good enough, or now that iPhone cameras have improved so much. I used to use the helping hands, the magnifying glass, or just a regular magnifying glass, which can work as well. But I find that it's actually usually easier just to literally use my phone. You can still see it, that it's not perfectly uniform, but it should be fine. You guys should see the socket of that if you think this is gonna be a problem. All right, guys, there we go. I got a quick test bench set up for this. And another thing that's handy, but not at all necessary if you have, oh, I don't know, a screwdriver, a coin, a key, anything that's conductive to turn on the computer. But I mean, who doesn't like a luxurious, nice little button? And then you don't even have to line it up. It's one piece. I just got this from, like, I don't know, a computer case in the garbage. So yeah, but the power supplies, they're honestly like by the dozen. Like, I could have so many more power supplies if I took each and every one. Let's give this a test. Let's turn this on first. Oh, pretty lighting. Good sign. Okay, so that's fantastic. We know this board works now. Here I'm just testing all 4 RAM slots on the board. Later on, I did end up testing all the PCI slots and all the ports and stuff, and everything actually works. I didn't expect anything other than that. It has 2 M.2 slots. It's pretty convenient compared to my current test bench. Has 1 and 1 PCI Express slot. This has a shit ton of SATA slots. I was literally about to buy a SATA like PCI Express card because it's annoying to fucking copy drives.
Spaceship would think he had a lipstick on. Price on his head, hella ice like a sled, make a nigga freeze up like Frozone.
Alright, so I've come to the conclusion that we're gonna upgrade the test bench computer today. So that's what we will do with this board and stuff like that. The 8th Gen i3 and everything like that as well will be going in here. So none of the power LEDs, any of those indicators work, not even the reset switch works, only the power button works. And I checked, like, did I hook this up like an idiot or what? Like, what happened here? It's not even the case, man. There are, if I remember, only 2 motherboard screws because this board is non-standard, like, mounting. Like, this is from some pre-built consumer grade PC. So I think only 2 of these mounting holes actually like lined up. Yeah, they actually line up perfectly. I think that's it. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that is the fan. Or that was where the fan was plugged in, the system fan. So I found this board in the recycling with the socket was all bent, and I just threw a CPU in it just for fun to see if the socket worked while it was bent, and it did. But the The NVMe slot didn't work. One of the RAM slots didn't work. The PCI slot didn't work. And it was just really buggy. So I straightened out all the pins, and now everything works with this board. But I don't think I could sell it anyways because the pins don't look right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not perfectly straight. Everything works though on this board. I have tested it thoroughly. And also the CPU, where these holes are, like, you can't use an Intel stock cooler either. So I had to use a Hyper 212. So it ran real cool, this thing. I have another 212 that I could put on this, but the problem with the 212 is that it almost blocks one of the RAM slots. So I'm actually purposely gonna continue using the Intel stock cooler. How are these wires supposed to be managed? Because this is all over the place. Yeah, let me just grab a tiny zip tie. Cable management, 100. I just want it to be out of my fucking way because it's a computer that I will be in and out of a lot. Like, normally I would just probably put it somewhere out of the way. And I wouldn't go to these lengths to do this, but if I could get this even lower. I actually do have an I/O panel for this board too. I don't remember if this board was like left in a case or what the situation was, but there we go. First freaking try for the front panel lights. All of them working. Very nice. It's sick because I can literally actually tell if the computer is on now. I mean, yeah, the motherboard has lights, but they're actually on all the time. I was thinking like literally just connecting a 12 volt like vehicle accessory light, like something like this, like what I use for these. I'm gonna build some under here, don't worry, that's why it's out. I was thinking of putting that inside the case and connecting it to 12 volt power so I could tell if the fucking thing is on. But there we go, guys. So this is much better. And I actually got one of these yesterday at the Amazon return store. Believe it or not, this is AC Wi-Fi. It looks like the branding is so fucking old on it, on the package. Look at this shit. Like, really? It's 2010. Wi-Fi AC. I think this thing is like, 600 megabits. There you go. Oh, wow, it looks like this in person for me, too. Whoa! Yo! I know how you guys are seeing it, and you guys probably just think it's a camera effect. Dude, it literally looks like this. What the fuck? That is crazy looking. Yo, what? What happened? Oh my god, it's been up. Alright, so today I found this. I usually never go super early in the morning, but I haven't gone in like a week. So, just because like if I went the previous day, there's probably nothing new. But I haven't gone for like a week, so I figured, let me drop by. I found this iPhone 14 Pro Max and a monitor that works as well. Just another fucking 1080p 24-inch monitor. I probably have like 11 now. But this, I charged it up and I immediately, when it turned on, I connected it to Wi-Fi to see if it was locked. And to my surprise, well, it's connected to my iCloud account now. So, but it is not iCloud locked, and it is in pretty bad condition. Sorry, I was worried about what he's doing. As you can see, I've put tape on it just to protect my hands. Both sides are pretty shattered, but the screen actually works without issues. Battery not too bad. I always take this picture of the battery capacity before I restore the phone, because otherwise you'd have to set it up again to get this. And now I'm just going to install iTest and test all of the features of the phone. But this is pretty good. I should be able to get some decent money for this. I will not be fixing the phone. It's not something I want to be doing. I have tried to repair an iPhone 14 Pro before, my personal phone, and it was not, the displays were not very good, the cheap ones. So I don't plan on spending money on this, so I won't buy a cheap screen. I'd rather keep the original one that's OEM, even if it's broken, just because it works much better. So here's where I found a Lenovo T460s. The computer is pretty clean physically. Thankfully it came with a RAM and SSD and a charger. Here I'm just turning it on to do a function test, making sure the computer actually works before I actually bother with repasting it. Something I learned from the MacBook Air from last video. As well, here I discovered it's actually a Core i7 when the sticker on the bottom says it's an i5 6300U, so that's a nice surprise as well. Here I'm just discovering that there's a SSD, so it's nice to have it. It is an it's a SATA-based M2 SSD. And here you can see what appears to be, I don't know, like chocolate? Fucking disgusting. I have no idea what this is. At first I thought maybe it's rust, but it's absolutely not rust. Because it's like everywhere in the computer, like crumbs of this shit. Super fucking disgusting. It could be a dual battery model. Like if you wanted to add a battery to it, you could. Here I am just cleaning this disgusting thing. There's so much hair in this thing too, caught up in the fan. Very unusually low amount of writes compared to the amount of power on hours for this SSD. So just go through my normal process, get Windows 10 installed on it, do my drivers, do my Windows updates, and list it on eBay. Funny enough, the iPhone 14 Pro Max, I think I listed it for too low, listed it for $250. It sold an hour later. Like buy it now, asking price, so oops. I'm actually saving an image of this machine just in case I get another Mac like this in the future. That way I can just restore it to the empty version of this disk with no user data on it. So it should be easy in the future to restore an old Mac if I get one again. Because I freaking hate these stupid computers, man. So now that I'm finally getting around to editing this video, I'm seeing how bad I am at making videos now. I don't conclude anything, and I always forget to include certain things. So I don't remember when I found this, but it's been quite some time. I feel like I've had it for a few weeks. It's a Thinkcentre M710e, i5 7400, and it had no RAM, so I stole an 8 gig stick from my test bench. It now only has 8 gigs. As well as I had an extra 128 gig NVMe, which it has a slot for, and I put in a hard drive as well. I also put in a GT210 that I found like yesterday, and that's really all I found yesterday, as well as maybe a 100-foot Ethernet cable, and got Windows 10 Pro installed, and it's ready to go. I will post this one on eBay because if I post this on Marketplace, the people will absolutely, I will not get enough money for this computer. Also, something kind of cool recently, I thought I'd show you guys, is I've gotten some of these adapters recently. They're at least cheaper than the M710 to SATA adapters, and it is somewhat more useful. The application is pretty limited because I tried to use it for this, but it's too narrow. But that's a very specialty kind of thing. But I don't know. You also couldn't put it here either. So as for the cloning PC update, I don't know what happened to the footage of actually building it. Like half of it is there and half of it is gone. But I actually did just end up putting in M.2. This has a slot for an SSD and a Wi-Fi card. So it only has a Wi-Fi card in there right now, but I can do up to 3 M.2 drives if I need now, as well as having decent Wi-Fi. And I never actually showed you guys, but this is secured down onto the case. I figured it'd be nice to have a DVD drive inside the house so I don't have to go to the garage to burn the occasional like Mac OS disk or something to restore something fucking old. I did forget about this. I actually forgot that the SSD for this machine is in this weird adapter. So I also have an M.2 SATA there as well, but not at the same time as the M-SATA SSD. And obviously these are labeled because it's a cloning machine. As you can see, I've been cloning. This drive will probably be mounted maybe to the front or something. I don't know what I'll do. Actually, yeah, totally. I've been saving the images to this drive, like the Mac image, so I can restore older Macs. I'm gonna start saving the Windows 10 images for common machines like Lenovo's and Dell's and stuff like that. Windows 11 images and stuff like that. This is just an old, I think, 750 gig drive. Yes. So yeah, that's your update for this. Also, I finished building the monitor arm. It's actually sick. It works perfectly as intended from vehicle recall parts. So work in dealership. As for all of the Apple laptops, because I realized I didn't conclude those either. The iBook G4 from last video, I didn't really do anything with it. I kind of just cleaned it up and listed it with the charger that it came with, just for like $50 Canadian, like pretty low. The MacBook Pro, I list for $70. There's already somebody watching it and I just listed it today. So that's pretty good. I list these items for pretty cheap because like I said, like I got these for free, and unless I put money into it, I don't really care how much I get back as long as it was worth my time for shipping the item, drive to the post office, all the shit, right? So that is, I do take that into account. The Thinkpad, I do list it for like $140 because it already comes with everything you need. It's a clean laptop. It's actually the i7 variant, which in this case is not really a big deal. It's just dual core CPU. So yeah, but I always try to get a little bit more if the computer is actually like nice condition. The Macs, they're pretty fair physical condition, so I'm not looking for too much money for those computers. But yeah, I know this video is kind of all over the place. I really haven't had a great haul recently, just like tons of like small items here and there finding. So that's really what I've got for you guys today. But thanks. See you.